Well, thank you for your answer, Mr. Mayor. And I do appreciate you saying that tackling violent crime is going to be your priority, and I think everyone would agree with that. But I think you misunderstood my question, because I was talking about hate incidents, not hate crime. And of course, any violent crime which has whatever the motivation, murder, knife crime, stabbing, needs to be tackled, absolutely. But there's been a very widely reported freedom of information request asking the Metropolitan Police about hate incidents and how much time has been spent dealing with those things. And we have things which have been reported and investigated and filed away, such as a dog fouling someone's doorstep has been classed as a hate incident. We have a disputed line call in a tennis match, a man telling library staff he was campaigning for Brexit, and then widely reported earlier in the summer, in August, the former Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson, made a witty joke about the burqa looking like a letterbox. And that was then investigated, or Commissioner Cressida Dick had to question to see whether that was a hate crime or not. Now, all of these things that I've just mentioned are trivial incidents. They're obviously not crimes. And I do appreciate you talking about serious incidents. But isn't it time that you and Commissioner Dick gave the message to the public not to report trivial incidents like this, which are obviously not crimes, because they waste police time?
Can I just make this point? I mean, you've asked a long question. If you're somebody who, on a regular basis, is having feces pushed through your letterbox because of the colour of your skin, or on a regular basis has racists having their dogs fouling your front doorstep because of the colour of your skin, it has a deep impact on you. And that regular experience of being the victim of those events can be quite upsetting. It could be also because of your sexuality. It could be because you've got a disability. It could be for another reason. So I know you're not intentionally seeking to trivialise those sorts of incidents, but we've had examples. I know people have suffered these sorts of racist incidents with feces put through a letterbox and on their doorstep on a regular basis, intentionally because of the colour of their skin. I've also had examples, which may seem trivial, of graffiti spray outside places of worship and where people live, which can not simply be upsetting for the individual, but it sends a ripple of hate through that entire community. That's why some of these crimes are called message crimes, because it's sending a message to anybody who's of similar ethnicity, similar faith, similar sexuality, or has a disability, that they're also targeted by this. So, of course, the police will prioritise those crimes that are the most serious. And of course, there's a distinction between reporting a crime and the police investigating. But we do want to live in a city where people aren't treated this way.
Well, I do accept your answer on that one incident that I mentioned. But there are other things, such as telling library staff someone was campaigning for Brexit. That's obviously not any kind of crime at all. So something that is that trivial, would you tell members of the public, don't report that because it's wasting police time?
Well, all I say is the police will give those sorts of incidents the attention they deserve, which is not a lot of time, bearing in mind the priorities the police have in relation to violent crime. And so it's worth distinguishing an incident from a crime. And there's a definition for what a hate crime is, and the police are quite clear what a hate crime is versus an incident. And you're right, I think you're trying to distinguish the two. An incident, where somebody may report an incident which isn't a crime clearly, and a hate crime which should be investigated. And I think the police know the difference. And I think that's what both Sarah Thornton and Cressida Dick were trying to say when they recently spoke about this, that the police, when they've got finite resources and having to ration their time even more so than ever before, will always distinguish serious crime versus incidents.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.